What's going on, everybody? Top 10 Pokemon back. And folks, I believe with every fiber of my being that there is always opportunity in this hobby. Even in the midst of extreme hype and a bull market like we're in right now, I believe there are still opportunities to make very solid investments. Let me just say, for my collecting and investing career, I have mainly collected vintage cards and sealed product. But lately, I have been buying modern singles. I know. I never thought I would see the day I was buying modern singles in the way that I am right now. But this video is going to be 10 modern single cards that I believe are tremendously undervalued right now. So I'll be showing you lots of data, including charts, pull rates, prior sales, to get my point across. But these 10 cards, I feel right now, are very good investment opportunities. Folks, a very quick shout out to today's awesome video sponsor. It's the great people over at CantoShark.com. The CantoShark marketplace is currently loaded with some insane graded Pokemon card grails, both vintage and modern, and having recently posted tons of amazing collection boxes and Elite Trainer boxes, many of which are very competitively priced, like this guy right here. Whether you collect English cards, Japanese cards, folks, there is an overwhelming amount of product available for you. You need to see it for yourself. A link to the CantoShark website will, of course, be in the description of this video. Please go check them out, folks. Thank you so much for your support. And as always, let me know what you pick up. All right, these 10 cards will be from the Scarlet and Violet era. Let's start off with some Scarlet and Violet base set in this Drowzee illustration rare. Now, what was it, 6 months ago or so? This card was on fire, selling as a PSA 10 for like $800 and some dollars. It was insane, but we have seen quite the decline in this card's market price. If we take a look right here, for a near mint copy, in the past 6 months, this card is down just about 60% in value. And the PSA 10s are still pretty up there, folks. The PSA 10 just recently sold for nearly $400. So this card is still very desirable, and you can get it right now on TCG Player for 27 bucks. The next undervalued card is also from Scarlet and Violet base. It is this Miriam Special Illustration Rare Full Art Trainer card. Folks, at one point, this was the most expensive card from Scarlet and Violet base. If we take a look at the past 6 months, this card is down 30% for a near mint copy. If we take a look at this chart right here of the Scarlet and Violet base pull rates, to pull a special illustration rare is 1 out of 32, and to pull a Miriam specifically is 1 out of 376 booster packs. So quite a tough pull when you look at it, and you can get this card right now as a near mint to mint copy for about $21.46. Not too shabby of a price if you ask me. The next card on our list is another full art trainer. It's the special illustration rare Iono from Paldea Evolved. And now she is currently sitting at a market price of about 50 bucks and is down in the past 6 months 22.42%. And when you look at the past year, she's down even further, nearly 23%. And much like the Miriam from Scarlet and Violet base, this Iono was very, very expensive at one point, especially as a PSA 10. Now, if you remember, 2 years ago, back in the summer of 2023, full art trainer cards kind of took over the Pokemon card world. They were so insanely hyped up, and they have since come down quite a bit. So if there's ever been a time to get your hands on some Scarlet and Violet full art trainers, I think now is that time. What do you think about them? Up next is a card that I've invested in very heavily. It is the Special Illustration Rare Charizard EX from Obsidian Flames, currently sitting at a market price of about $58. And folks, that is down about 18.6% in the past 6 months. So there are a couple of reasons why I am investing heavily in this particular card. For one thing, the pull rate for this card is pretty rough, as it's like 1 out of 216 booster packs you can pull this card. And another thing is that the PSA 10 copies of this card are pretty spectacular, selling for $400+ recently. I think this is a very underrated Charizard in both price and illustration. I think it's a fantastic card, and it's worth looking into. Up next, we have a card from Paradox Rift. It's this Garchomp EX SIR. that currently is sitting at a market price of $24.88. If we look at the last 6 months of this card, it is down 42.91%. And what I like about Garchomp is it's a recognizable Pokemon. It's not a brand new Pokemon. We all know what a Garchomp is. And if we look at the pull rates for this card, for special illustration rares from Paradox Rift, it is 1 out of every 47 booster packs you will pull an SIR, but to specifically get this Garchomp, you're looking at 1 out of 712 booster packs. So the pull rates are quite tough to get this particular card, and it's down almost 43% with a market price of $24.88. I don't think you can go wrong. Next up is another card from Paradox Rift. It is the Roaring Moon EX SIR, and boy, this card is down quite a bit in the past 6 months. It's down 36.6%. And this was, at one point, the most expensive card from Paradox Rift. I think a PSA 10 nowadays costs you around 150 bucks. And right now it's sitting at about $37.80 for a near mint to mint copy. And much like the Garchomp EX, very tough pull rate for any of these special illustration rares. This is definitely a card to look into, folks. Next up, we have 2 cards I believe are undervalued from Temporal Forces. First is this Walking Wake EX SIR. Currently has a market price of about $38.50. And that is down 37.39% in the past 6 months. And I think Temporal Forces has an even harder pull rate than Paradox Rift. If you're looking at special illustration rares, to pull any one of them is 1 out of 86 booster packs, and to pull a specific SIR is 1 out of 855 booster packs. And the second undervalued card from Temporal Forces is this Gouging Fire EX, which is the Ancient Entei. This guy is sitting at a market price of $35.33, and that is down 31.15% in the past 6 months. Now you'll notice that I put the Walking Wake and the Gouging Fire, not the Raging Bolt. I don't think that's necessarily undervalued, as that card I think is twice as expensive as these 2 guys right here. These are pretty affordable, and with pull rates like we're seeing here from Temporal Forces, it might not hurt to pick a few of these up. Up next, we have a card from Paldean Fates. Now, if we look at the top 9 list here, it is not the first 4 cards. I believe those are not undervalued at all, but it's this guy right here, the Pikachu Shiny Rare, that I believe is fairly undervalued. If we take a look at the market price, it has a market value of $25.31, and in the past 6 months, this guy is down nearly 50%. However, if you look at the pull rates for Paldean Fates, specifically the Shiny Rare cards, you pull these out of 1 out of every 4 booster packs. So the Shiny Rares are easy to pull, but to specifically pull a Pikachu is quite difficult, as you'll get 1 Pikachu out of every 472 booster packs. And this card as a PSA 10 is nearly $200. So 25 bucks for a Pikachu? Put me down for a few of them. Which leads me into the 10th and final undervalued card, and I have invested very heavily in this one in particular. It is the Terapagos EX SIR. Folks, this guy is sitting at a market price of $37.44, and it is down 52.43% in the past 6 months. And the pull rates for special illustration rares from Stellar Crown are quite difficult. Any SIR is about 1 out of 90 booster packs, and to specifically pull this Terapagos, you're looking at 1 out of 540 booster packs. So yeah, and it's also worth noting that this card as a PSA 10 is also around 200 bucks to get it. I mean, it was much higher than that at one point, but yeah, a PSA 10 is about 200 bucks, and right now you can get a near mint to mint copy for 37 bucks. This is one of the best cards from this set, and I think it's tremendously undervalued. How about you? So folks, what cards do you think are tremendously undervalued? Let me know. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Let me know what you thought of the video. Let me know what you thought of these cards. That's all I got for you today. I'll catch you in my next one.